we're pretty much done with this cohort. Next week will literally be like a recap of all that we're looking at. So we'll just do a quick recap and it's be more engaging. So for our next class, I would like that everyone just go over your notes because I'll be asking questions. That's pretty much what I'll do. I'll be asking a lot of questions, and that would literally be um, people that answer my questions are people that get marks. So that would be like so I might not even give you guys assignment. So it's the questions that I ask you determine, the extra marks you guys get. All right, so that's how next week goes. So I would urge you guys to go over your the classes, the videos, the slides, and really be abreast of what we've been teaching, all along. All right. Okay, so today we'll be looking at utilizing psychology in product marketing. Um, I know these are areas that some of you have not even, conceived that there are things that you need to know in product management. All right. Even I know I was getting the feedback from some of you during our last class on their understanding on what the expectation in terms of growth, product growth hacking, and some of you were saying that you never realized that this was part of product management. But for as a shocker, it is. And today we'll also be looking at another interesting aspect that most people don't really talk about when it comes to product. Because in as much as you've developed your product, there are a lot of intricacies that are needed in terms of ensuring that your product succeeds in the market. Because you are not just building a product, you are building a product for people. So you need to understand how your people think, how they behave as regards to your product. So it's pretty much psychology, right? The behavior of your customers as regarding your product, and how do you then best position and market or sell your product, factoring all of these things in putting all of this in place. All right, so table of content, we're looking at understanding customer psychology, and we'll be looking at leveraging psychological effects for better product marketing. So let me tell you, man, there's a whole lot of psychology that goes into product, um, you know, into pretty much your products, into crafting the best product that 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 is tailored to your customer needs, ensuring that your customer are able to are drawn to your product, ensuring that at every stage of at which your customer um, at every stage your customer you're able to position or do things that make your customer really want to value or want to use your product or prefer your product more than your competitors. And meaning that you really need to understand your customers, know how they behave and all of that. So yeah, so understanding customer psychology, right? Product management can benefit from exploring the psychological factors that underlie this preference and behaviors in terms of users. All right, so gaining comprehensive understanding of how human thinks, assimilates information is very important. All right, and how they react to different stimuli and things like that. So we're looking at all of these things, which are very important information to help you understand how your customers will react to things, the options that you provide, the information, the messaging, the the positioning, a whole lot of things that actually influences the behavior of your customer towards your product. And you need to know this. It's very, very important as well. All right. All right. So we're looking at an example, couple of examples. All right. Give me one minute.
Hello, sir. Sir, we can't hear me. I can't hear you. I don't know if it is also from my end.
Say with you, I can't hear him.
Said that we should give him 1 minute. So let's just be patient. He said it.
All right, I'm back. All right, can you guys can hear me now, right? Sorry about that. I need to just attend to something quickly. All right, so we're looking at the first example here, which is cognitive bias. Cognitive biases, right? So what is cognitive bias? All right, this refers to the mental shortcut or thinking pattern that can steer individuals towards making irrational decisions. All right, so common cognitive bias include confirmation bias, referring information that aligns with existing beliefs, and anchoring bias, which is over relying on initial pieces of information of piece of information encountered. All right, so let's look at what this means. Let's look at an example. Okay, oh, I thought I have an example here. All right, so what is cognitive bias, right? So it says it's a mental shortcut or thinking pattern that can steer individuals towards making irrational decisions. All right, so there are a couple of things. For example, now a lot of people have preconceived notions about um a lot of people have preconceived notion about a lot of things in life. All right, there's way you think about market people. There's a way you think about, there's a kind of preconceived notion you have about people that do forex. There's people that feel like forex is like gambling, these things like that you get. So any kind of any product that in a way is sold in that, any financial product that has that's sold in that manner, for someone that already has a preconceived notion about how they feel about forex would mix, if how they feel is not so, they're not so cool with it. No matter what you do, it would affect how they will react or the kind of decision they will make regarding um, an app that does stuff like that. All right. So common cognitive bias include, like I said, confirmation bias, which preferring information. So you prefer information that aligns with your existing belief. All right. So anything that doesn't align with what you believe, you will most likely not engage, not even engage it. All right. There are some things some people will not do because it's there's some things some people will do because it aligns with their belief in what they believe. And belief doesn't, when I say belief, it doesn't necessarily mean your faith or something. It could just be like in terms of this particular aspect of life. This is what I believe. All right. And a lot of people have that strong belief that they will only do things that are aligned with that belief. All right. So an anchoring bias, which is over relying on initial piece of encountered information. All right. So there are some people that they rely on information that they encounter. All right. So if you tell them something, they are very quick to just rely on it and believe it. They are very open-minded. All right. So there are a set of people like that. So and all of these kind of biases, all right, sometimes are really important, especially when you know um, the kind of customers or the kind of user segment that you're dealing with. All right. So you're trying to sell something to a particular region, a particular state, and you see that there is this bias that they hold in that in that area or in that country or in that state. All right, you have to ensure that you are in a way tailoring your product to align with those biases such that it will favor you in the long run. Do you understand? It's very, very important as well. And there are some people that you know that they are open-minded people. All right, they are willing to learn. So there are people whereby you can tailor your messaging as an informative thing, whereby they are it will they are for example, there are people that are willing to learn things in the area of of food or of lifestyle, So if you are being messages that sharing more information around those areas, they'll be more tuned to, because there are people that they are cognitive, they are biased. Cognitive bias is that they are anchoring, they can rely on any piece of information that they encounter. All right, so you are feeding them more information about what your product does, or what the industry, what are the new trends and things that can help them even perform better with your product. All right, so these are things that you need to understand. So next one is emotional drivers. Emotional drivers play a significant role in decision making, right? Customers often make purchasing choices based on how a product or experience make them feel. I mean, how many of you have heard this phrase that people say? People said, how's that phrase goes? He said, people don't remember, people don't always remember what you do for them, but they will always remember how you make them feel. Do you understand? So in a way, how your product, the kind of experience, how your product is built in terms of how it makes your user feel is a very, very important. Do you understand? So the kind of experience you are putting into your product when people are using your products, is it making life, is it easy? Is it giving a nostalgia feeling? Is it giving because there are a lot of things that, for example, now there are people that, if no matter how Snapchat and Instagram, no matter how similar, or TikTok, how similar those have look, there are some factors in Snapchat that would attract some certain kind of people because of the kind of experience that Snapchat has and the things that you can do with Snapchat. All right, as much as you can, the same information that you can put on Facebook, you can put on LinkedIn. There's a kind of experience that LinkedIn gives you that it helps you feel more professional. It help you look things from a career perspective, professional perspective, that Instagram might not really give you in a sense. All right, so those are the things that determines that are really important on how your users, ensure you how you make your user feel when they're using your product. So understanding emotional drivers behind customer acquisition can help product managers to create product that evoke positive emotions and resonate more deeply with their target audience. So your goal is that you understand these emotional drivers and able to create a product that evoke positive emotions and resonate deeply with them. All right. So what are example of some emotional drivers? All right. So we look at pride. There's pride, there's shame, there's altruism, there is fear, there's greed, there's jealousy, but there's a way you can tweak things in a way whereby it's suiting, it's positive, even though it's for example, let's look at one example. It says you emphasize ways you help reach goals. All right. Feel pride by saying how the purchase can make them feel really good about something or themselves. So you are emphasizing in your messaging or your in your positioning how you put up to make them feel proud of themselves and things like that. That's pride. That's a feeling. That's an emotion. You are highlighting the consequences of missing out. There's this thing people call FOMO, the fear of missing out. All right. So that fear is sometimes shame. Oh, you feel bad, you feel shame that you don't want to feel shame that you miss out from a particular deal or something, or whatever the case is. So cause cause shame by highlighting consequences if they don't buy the product. So these are strategies that people use as well. There is um altruism, which is help, for example, now help how their decision can help others. So for people that are very, very who likes to help other people and things like that. So you are encouraging how, by showing how buying your product will enable them to help others. All right. There's other one ways you can provoke fear positively anyway, by explaining the risks of not buying. For example, now your app is a app that helps them to help in ensuring compliance or for a particular maybe medical compliance or compliance for legal things and things like that. So you might want to evoke fear but in a positive way, whereby you're saying that okay, not using this product, this is a good, the risk of of um being sued, the risk of you know brand tarnishing your brand image and things like that. So you post out a lot of risks whereby which not using that product to do what they need to do would cause those risks. So there's a fear in that. So those are because a lot of people want to use your product because without using it, it's going to cost them a lot of money. Without using it, it might cost now, apart from costing them money, it might really affect their their business or stuff like that, because using your product will save them from all of those things. So you want to provoke fear in a way with your messaging. But even though it's positive, but there are things that they need to get done with your product. So greed. All right. So prompt greed by offering something valuable like an exclusive offer. So describe what they will get. So there are people that one of the reasons why they offer to buy a product was because of the exclusive offer, the extra perks that comes with upgrading, you know. And in a way sense, what you're provoking is the greed inside the customer. So these are some psychological things that people do use to to get buyers to use their product. Or yeah. So when you want to point out trigger jealousy, all right, point out how you make them better. You can trigger jealousy by offering a superior product that will make them better than others. So there are some people that would, especially some of these luxury products, you know for some people, the reason why they want to buy that product is so that they can look more better than their counterpart, or so that I can show people that, oh, I have this, and I'm status. You get. So it could be based on status, based on class, a lot of factors like that. All right, so we have the social influence. Social influence and human behavior is human behavior is heavily influenced by social factors such as peer-to-peer recommendations, societal norms, group dynamics. Societal peer-to-peer recommendation, for example, now word word of mouth, your friend telling you about a particular product that she used and that really helped her. Societal norms. What is the norm that is in this? What is the norm? What is the norm in this society? Is it normal for people to dress this way? Is it normal for people to use things like this and stuff like that? So things like that are things that you should understand in that market or in that target audience that you are selling to. What is the societal norm in this market? What is normal for these people in this market? All right. For some people, you get to a place and realize that wearing hijab is the societal norm there. If you're not wearing hijab, you are literally fine. I feel if you're a lady, you are awkward. You're awkward. So if your product is in a way that is tailored to a religious thing or something like that, and you know, and you get to a place, you know that this is the norms in this region. You see how you can ensure that your messaging is aligned to that. All right, and there's the group dynamics, all right, as well. All right, there is class as well. I didn't just put that there. There's also social class. All right, in this area, there are these people very class oriented. Are they people that, for example, now people living in who are area in for people in Lagos, Ikoyi, Budalion, and all of those areas. All right, if those are the areas you are targeting, what is important to them, and things like that. So product managers should consider how social influence shape their customer decision. There are some people that will only buy a product because it's expensive. There are people like that. If the product is cheap, forget it, you cannot get their attention, no matter how good that product is. No matter how good that product is. So if the target audience are people who are very class oriented, and they always want to show that they have class and things like that. If you price your things in a certain way, you will not get their attention because of how what is that what how they are how they what influenced them as a society and things like that. All right, so incorporate this knowledge into your product design and your marketing strategy. It's very important, guys, because this is literally the game changers in the aspect of in really ensuring that your product succeed in the market. All right, and product managers that understand the psychology. They are guys that actually in all of the in all they are always the 1% or the 2% that really make massive impact because they understand the psychology of their customers. All right. So behavioral economics. This field combines principles from economics and psychology to understand how people make decisions. It considers factors like loss aversion, the tendency to fear losses more than value gain. All right. It's also linking to the first one, but now this is looking from an economic standpoint. All right. You know, there are some tight audience that what will really make them use your product is the fear of loss more than gain. So the fact that if they use your product, they would not lose more. Using your product will save them from losing more than even gain, prevent them from losing more. Do you get? So if you are in that, if you understand that in terms of your users, right? I mean, especially if the risk of losing is really outweighs even gaining, do you get? You should be able to position your messaging in a way that aligns with that. Do you get it? So the endowment effect. All right. So we're going to look at all of this looking at all of this particular psychology, this thing, but this is just understanding some basic customer psychology. We're looking at all of these effects, psychology effects. Yeah, that's the word. All right. So endowment effect, attaching higher value to something just because you own it. All right. There's some people like that. All right. The scarcity effect, perceiving limited availability as more valuable. There's some people like that one of the reasons why they want to get a car because it's limited edition. That's it for them. One of the reasons why they want to buy this particular because it's limited edition. So there's some companies that they have the original product that people use, but they will then create limited edition because there are some people that really, if you really, there are some people that limited edition will attract. And for limited edition, you have to understand that there should be something about that product that even the rest of the product do not have that makes it stand out. And you're not ready to replicate it again. So meaning that, and which is why the prices are outrageous. And that people like having that limited edition is what gives them joy. Do you get? So for example, cars. I think there was a time where when BlackBerry was winning, there was a time that BlackBerry had some limited edition of BlackBerries that were made of gold and things like that, you know, and stuff like that. So that in itself, a lot of people really wanted those kind of BlackBerry because it was gold and gold plated and things like that. You can see that in terms of cars as well and other even luxury items and things like that. Watches, yes, I know, yes. So those are behavioral economics that you need to understand, and there's more to all of this. This is just an introduction so that you guys can go further to really study on this thing. Perceived value. Customer decisions are influenced by perceived value of the product. It's not just about the future, but also about how well the product address the customer needs and desire. All right, so so it's very important on how your customer perceive the value of your product. All right, so because a lot of people are always very key to just product managers always key on features, but they don't really emphasize the value of the product because being able to highlight all of the values. All right, a two persons, three people can use a feature, but the value those three people will get from that feature might be different. But if you don't highlight that feature, those values, sorry, you are just talking about the future, you will miss out on getting the attention of those three set of people that will gain different value from using one single feature. You guys get it? So there's a difference of, because I see a lot of people launching app, and the only thing that they're highlighting is feature. They're not highlighting the value of the product. They just highlight a feature. This app do this, does this, does this, does this. Who cares about what the app does? What does the app, what value does the app gives to your users? What does it what outcome are they able to get by using this product? Those are the things you highlight, and those are the things that people think of. People don't think in terms of features. You are the one who's thinking out of future because you are the one developing the product. But people are thinking in terms of the outcome, their needs, the outcome, what they're trying to achieve. So if you start thinking about it and start crafting your messaging to align with that, you're able to attract them. And that's why we actually define how they then perceive the value of your product. So your product can really be the video can really have so much value, but if you don't highlight it, the perception of a user about that product will be low. You get it? So that's important. Next in line we have habit formation. Humans' behavior are often driven by habits. All of us, we have our habits. We have the things that no matter how we will always find ourselves doing. All right. So understanding how habits are formed, and habits are formed by repetition. If you're doing something over time, it becomes an habit. All right. So there's a way you can design your product in a way whereby it creates a repetitive effect, whereby your user would find with your product will be to be solely engraved into their lifestyle, and with that it becomes an habit, such that your product, your users would not such that your users won't won't be able to go a day without using your app, because it has become an habit for them. All right. So that's one thing. So changed product manager design products and experience that encourage positive habits and break negative ones. All right. So that's important. So decision fatigue. All right. Humans' mind possesses an infinite capacity for decision making. And when customers are confronted with excessive numbers of options, it can result to feeling overwhelmed and experiencing decision fatigue. So this is very important. A lot of people fall into this category, especially when there's so many options, and they can really just get you turn one out. All right. Product managers should therefore consider simplifying choices and minimizing the complexity of decision making for their customer. I think this already speaks for itself. Motivation and incentives. Different customers are motivated by different things. So understanding what drive your target audience and aligning incentive can influence decision making process positively. All right. So you understanding what are the things that are motivating. For example, whenever we talked about that job to be done. All right. If you look at that job to be done approach, it's an important um it's an important way to understand user need, using that job to be done strategy to getting to understand their motivation, and then providing a certain incentive to help them, encourage them to make decision in the direction of your product. All right, so that's very important. Trust and credibility. All right, cultivating trust among customers is a critical requirement for product success. This one you can't even play, you can't joke with this. All right. Product managers must therefore identify approaches that build and strengthen trust and ensure that product measure up to this standard and expectation. It's a very important thing. If your customer, helping your customer build trust, being able to build trust with your product, such that they know that this product will not fail me at this point. Well, when I need a particular, when I raise a particular issue, they are very sure that that issue will be resolved and things like that. So these are things that actually build trust and credibility, for your product. So by exploring the nuances of customer psychology, managers can gain requisite understanding to craft products and experiences that align more effectively with customer cognitive process and emotional needs. All right. So through tapping into these psychological factors, products can forge stronger connection with their audience. All right. So nevertheless, it's important to employ this insight ethically and in good faith. All right. I know quite a number of people who are abusing this psychology, because when you understand it, it is straightforward thing because people are emotional. Human beings are emotional. Do you understand? Human beings are emotional. Um, for some reason, a lot of people as bad as cookies, bad as cookies, because Coke, all these soda beverages, they are not good for your health, and there's no doctor that will advise you to take it. But for some reason, people find themselves taking it. There are ads that are being run daily that people feel like, okay, you take it, and stuff like that, you know. But you know, business needs to be made, all right. So people will still keep taking it, and also the um what's it called, the factor of choice as well, availability. I didn't add that as an example. There are several, psychological factors. For example, now because they make their products so available that the healthy one becomes really expensive, so cheap, so that the healthy one becomes so expensive. All right, now to even get fruits and things that really help you, that are really healthy, they are very, very healthy. Food is expensive, but processed food is very cheap and that what they are doing there is psychology. You see them putting a lot of marketing and things like that. But well, money needs to be made. So the aim should never be to manipulate and deceive users into choice that ain't genuinely beneficial for them, but rather the objective should be consistently involved around creating authentic and meaningful connection between product and the users. All right. So we're looking at the next aspect of what we're looking at, psychological effects for better product marketing. But before going to that, is there any feedback, any question from what we talked about? Something another, a perspective that you think you want to add to what we just talked about?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Good
I
evening.
want to appreciate. Yes, sir. My name is Benga. I just want to appreciate you. There's an aspect which are a bit under the passive value, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now you are talking about that our products should not talk of the future, but at least the value. Now, what I'm trying to say there is that can we say that the problem that the product is solving is part of the value? That's number one, sir. Then number
Mm-hmm.
two, sir. Then doing when we are creating the user personnel,
Mm-hmm.
we made mention of the pain point. Now, can
Mm-hmm.
we relate that this pain point, should be part? I mean, should be part of this psychological aspect of product management. Just a bit clarification, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, you're very correct. So being able to highlight, if you look at the things that we talked about in terms of behavioral, um, um, we looked at what was that one again? Coming. Is it social, emotional drivers? All right. You look at fear. We talked about fear. We talked about um, a couple of things like that. But in terms of the pain point that the user experience, right? Being able to highlight how your product solves those pain points are actually the value that you're giving, not features. So highlighting how you are solving those pain points and the benefits, and after solving it, what are the benefits they will get? How will you make their life better? What are the things that we're able to do after removing this pain point? So that's the value you are giving. So those are the things you highlight, that if with our product we will take away such, we will solve this, and by solving this, you'll be able to do this, you'll be able to get this done, you're able to do that. By solving this, you won't need to be doing this, you won't need to be doing that any longer. Or by solving this, um you will save yourself from this, save yourself from that, save yourself from this, from using that, from using this and this. So those are the values. Do you understand? So you are correct. So it's also in a way psychology. It's also fall into the psychological things as well, because it triggers a lot of things. Wanting to have something, which is that part where we talked about, pride, achieving something. Maybe solving that problem will help them achieve some things that they want to achieve. So you are also tapping into the emotional part of them by highlighting how your product will help them achieve so and so, or you are tapping into the fear in them when you highlight how your product will not how you highlight if I'm not using your product would make them will put them in debt, or put them in if they don't use your product, you know will put them in debt or cause certain issue in terms of licensing or any other thing that the problem you that problem that you've highlighted, you've stated. All right, so it just depends on how you want to craft your messaging to drive those emotions or those behaviors within your customer. So yes, you're still in line. All right. Any other um inputs, guys?
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hello.
My name is Favor.
Okay.
So I just want to say, so from what you said, it's important that from the onset, when you're building a brand from a product, that it's important to align the what your brand and the identity is with the value you're providing. That is
Correct.
if your company is product led, so it's important to align your brand identity with the value you're giving to your customers with your product.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. So let's look at the let's look at the psychological effects that you can leverage for your marketing. All right. So the art and science behind convincing customer that they can't live without your products. So that will be looking at. All right. How to convince people that your customers that is anyone saying something? Okay, so why your product features and market fit are the most important aspect. Your ability to leverage psychological effects for better marketing can provide extra edge to drive increased adoption and sales. Remember, I talked about the fact that a lot of product can be big, that can be succeeding in market, but there are some product that would be the 2, 3, 1% that are really topping in terms of the number of market share, things like that. And that because they've been able to tap into the psychological effect that they are putting in their marketing, their product marketing. All right. So leveraging certain cognitive biases, principles of influence can make your products more appealing, memorable, habit forming in the mind of customer. There's a book I would like you guys to read. The title of the book is Hooked. All right. The title of that book is Hooked. All right. I can't remember. Let me check the person that wrote it. It's a very important book that I think every product manager should read. Books by Neil um, Neil Ayar or something. Yeah, I think yes. Neil Ayar. How to build habit forming product. How to build habit forming product. So if you read this book, it's essentially just talked about all of these things that we've that we're looking at, and it even gives you more um, broader perspective to it. 1 second, I'm going to share the um, so that you guys can look it up. 1 second. I want to share it on the group so you guys can go and get the PDF and or just get the book itself. All right, so that's the book, Hooked, How to Build a Habit Forming Product. So it's really important to really have this knowledge as a product manager. All right, so we'll be exploring 17 additional psychological effects and how you can apply them in your product marketing strategies. All right. All right, so by understanding these hidden drivers of your customer behavior and motivation, you will gain actionable tactics to boost engagement, increase perceived value, drive viral growth, and get people excited about your product. So whether you make physical goods, offer services, or an app or an online product, you can incorporate these psychology principles to better connect with your users and persuade them to become loyal and happy customers. All right, so let's dive into it. So the first one is value ladder. Value ladder. Value ladder. So offering different pricing tier or subscription levels allows customer to start with a basic product. All right. So you allow customers start with one and then upgrade over time as they see more values. All right, which is, for example, now a SaaS company offer different subscription levels with increased features and benefits. Customer can start with a basic plan and upgrade as their needs grow. All right, so that's something that is very important. So value ladder. So you see a lot of solutions that the first starter pack basic plan would really have a level of value, but if you then if you need more value, you need to upgrade to the next plan. And if you want way more value, maybe in terms of the number of of users that you can use, the number of stumping you can do, or the kind of things you can, the nature of the things or the features that you can use. All right. So when your needs start growing, you can then start upgrading, and that's something that is built into a lot of products. All right. So value ladder is very important. IKEA effect. All right. So when customer invest time into assembling, personalizing, and setting up a product, they develop a sense of ownership and value it higher than a ready-made solution. So tap into this by offering customization and configuration options. All right. So for example, a software company allows users to customize their user interface, such as choosing their preferred color scheme, arranging the dashboard widget. This personalization makes users feel more invested in their product. There's some people that, that in fact, if you notice that even most products do that, even most app right now, you see a lot of app are now having themes. You can use different themes. You can change your wallpaper. You can change your color. You can change a lot of things just to personalize the app to your preference or customize it to your preference. And the more you customize it, the more you are attached to it. You're even seeing that they can even allow, some even allow you create your own emoji, create your own, an avatar, like Snapchat does and things like that. So, and when you do that, you are more, more connected to that. You feel more connected, more invested to that product. So that's another effect. All right. So the loss leader strategy. All right. Offer certain gateway features at low or no cost to attract users. Once a positive customer relationship has been established, your customer will be more open to premium add-ons and upgrade on their reliance on or satisfaction with your product increases. All right, so a streaming service offer a free tier with limited content to attract users. Then they upsell premium subscription with wider range of content and features. All right, so I remember some days like this. I used a teleprompter app because I wanted to record some videos, and I didn't want to feel like I'm reading from somewhere else. All right, so the first the the alarms use the app for free, but only that there was limited number of words I can insert into the teleprompter to read. So, and I knew that, and I wanted to, and I knew that the video I wanted to do was long, and I had a longer this thing. I did the first test run with the free one with the this thing because it was free. I did it first test run. I did the video. And I realized, wow, this thing really helped me. It helped me to achieve what I need to do. All right. So, and I knew that I had longer. I have more the video is long, so I have to say a lot of things. I had to upgrade to the premium because because they first of all, they allowed me to even use the app, so I knew that the app would work for what I needed it to do. All right, but they limited they made it limited. All right, but since the app works, there's no way I won't want more. Do you get? So I had to upgrade to premium, and that's what a lot of app, a lot of product do this time around, right? You know, so this is another strategy you can use to have people start paying for your app. It doesn't stop them from making your app free, but make sure that there's a limited thing that they can do, or a limited amount of time they can do something. All right, so maybe they might just be like a 3 times trial. There's that one as well you can do. That after they've done it 3 times, you have to upgrade. But because they've used it and the product is good, is solving the problem, they will upgrade. They would upgrade. So that's something that you need to ensure you do. All right. So there's the reciprocity principle. Reciprocity principle. All right. Providing free demos, trials, and freemium versions reciprocate value to prospect. All right. So I think it's already added to what I said. Mentioned self. This encourage goodwill and future purchase to repay your generosity. All right, so providing free demos, trials, freemium versions, reciprocates value to prospects. All right, so a CRM software company offers a 30-day trial, allowing users to experience the product benefit firsthand. This encourages them to subscribe to paid version once the trial period ends. Currently, as someone that does a lot of design, I do a lot of design with Canva. I probably would, because of the time it takes to using, Adobe, what's the word? Adobe Illustrator and all the likes you get, or Figma and things like that. Canva was just really easy to quickly create your design without having, with a lot of templates and things like that. So I do a lot of designs for a couple of things, and I realized I saw the some of the asset element that I needed, where most of them were on the premium upgrade, were only open for premium version, premium members, and things like that. And I knew that this thing I'm using it often. I had to upgrade. All right, you get. But I've used the trial version. I've used it several times. I think since maybe like maybe 2019 or something. When Canva started, I've been using it, and I saw the effect, but I realized that I'm using it more, and I need to. So with having the upgraded version makes my design even more better, things like that. I had to upgrade, and I didn't feel I'm not feeling bad for paying because it's actually giving me the value I need. All right, so that's something that this encourages them to subscribe for paid plan once the trial period is over. All right, so then there's the sorry, I can't pronounce it, but Zeigarnik effect. All right, so keep customer engaged by teasing upcoming new features before release. The anticipation of what's to come keeps users hooked. Let me give you an example. This is not even in terms of product now. I remember we known about these songs that for you guys that people that are Christians on this call. This Lawrence Oil song that got released on Friday with this guy Gaze. There were a lot of they just released this small version, all right, and kept pushing it and things like that to the point that people started anticipating the new video, the full video, the release of that video. And I see a lot of artists do that a lot of time. A lot of artists do it a lot of time, where they will just release small accent of that video, an accept of the video, just to build anticipation. Especially a very nice hook, a very nice part of that song that is very, deep, or very, very, very nice, just so that people will start waiting, start anticipating for the new release. All right. So, and again, even so, now talking about app, even what's the name? Even Netflix, Netflix does that a lot. Even Netflix does that a lot for new movies that are coming out. All right, you start seeing coming soon on your Netflix. All right, and you can watch the trailer and you start waiting for when that movie will come out and things like that. So a social media platform shares their product roadmap and follow up with their commitment by predominantly releasing new features and updates and keeping users engaged and eager to see what's next. So you can have a way whereby you are in your product. If you are working on a new feature, you can just create a quick, not a demo code, yeah, a quick demo or something such that people can put it next, releasing soon, releasing in something, put it somewhere in your product where people can start anticipating that new features, let them see the value and things like that, so that, you know, they will start anticipating to even use more of the features that you're expected to bring out. So that's another effect, something you can do, you can leverage. So foot in the door technique. All right, so ask more initial commitments that makes people more likely to agree to a larger request down the line. All right, so example, a subscription box service offer free trial box. After a customer enjoys it, they are more likely to commit to paid subscription. This doesn't even explain it well self. For example, I'll say asking for initial commitment could be, I know one time I subscribed for something, a particular um, lesson or a particular class, and they asked me to pay, something as low as, very, very, very small money, to be honest. But I paid that small money, and because I paid that money, I was committed to it first of all, because my money is there, no matter how small it was. I wasn't going to just not use or not attend this thing because of my life. So that in itself helped to reestablish my commitment. Right, so it's also a good way to also establish. So you might want to make the money very, very, very affordable. Then to the point where you start to see the benefit, the value it is, and you now start having them to want to start upgrading to a full paid version. All right. The next one we're looking at is paradox of choice. Paradox of choice. Too many options can be demotivating. Curate your offerings by bundling products or recommending popular combination. You get. So you're not just providing plenty options, right? But you're not creating them in bundles and also doing upsell or recommendation. Like for example, now if you buy this product, you can recommend another product that will help them, that will go well with that product. All right, that will go well with something like that. So an online clothing retail offers curated outfit bundle for specific occasions, reducing the overwhelming number of choices for customers. So you can create those bundles, help them, especially if the product is something that they need, they pretty much need everything to work to get their things done. So you can save them that time of having to start looking for this one, looking for that one. So just create that bundle. If you notice, a lot of cosmetic products do that, right? Especially if what the user is trying to achieve is maybe have skin elasticity, right? And to gain that, for you to achieve that, you need to use like 3 or 4 set of products. Or maybe you're trying to lighten your skin, you know. You might need a face lightening, body lightening, this. And because you don't want to lighten your face and your body is dark, So, and people that use this product know that if you get this one, you need to get that one. So, for you to save them more time of having to start deciding on what to create a bundle, and save them more time and even add a bit of discount to you so that they will just buy all of that they need at once and get going. And because you're in the places of because in the space of in that little space of looking for the next product that complements that first product, they might then see another brand, and they will buy that product, the second one that complement, but not of your own product, but of another brand. You get. But if you created a bundle, they will just know that, okay, so, well, most likely will use another brand, because I know ladies on this call will most likely will say, oh, for for my face, I prefer this brand. For my body, I prefer this brand. For my lips, I prefer this brand. For my for what's it called? For makeup, I prefer this brand. Imagine you're a brand now, and you then create a bundle for all of these things, right? You would, other people that have several preferences, right? Since it feels like they are saving more from buying the bundle, they just close their eyes and buy the bundle, and they have all of your products at once. All right, so this is something you can deploy as well in your marketing. All right, so Bada Menhoff phenomenon. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but so increased brand awareness and visibility through advertising and partnership. So this tap into the cognitive bias where people notice things more after they've learned more about them. All right, so as an example, a software company run targeted online ads and sponsorship to increase brand visibility, making users more likely to consider their product when they encounter them elsewhere. So you want to run a lot of ads and ads that are teaching people the benefit of your products, or even engaging them on some useful tips on things like that. So you show your ads should be, as much as advertising, should be educative as well. So educative ads has a go a long way, wherever you're educating your customers on a particular pain point or things like that, and on the long run how your product can solve that and get that done. You get so that is something you can deploy. We have the Diderot effect. Diderot effect. All right, suggest complementary or accessory product during purchase process to increase order value. So this was mostly around e-commerce. All right, an online online bookstore suggests related books when customer adds an item to their cart. You see this thing happen a lot of times, encouraging additional purchase. So there's a way you create that complementary, suggesting more things that people can buy when they add a particular thing to their um, to their cart. All right. Mere exposure effects. All right. So repeat exposure to your products through advertising breeds familiarity and preference. So there's something they call retargeting. It's very something that works a lot to remind customers of your brand frequently. So always put your brand in their face, and that's really why a lot of people will keep choosing the brand, because everywhere they are good, they are seeing it, they are seeing their brand. So for some reason, it's already recorded in their subconsciousness, and such that when they want to make a choice about a particular need, it's your brand that comes first, or your product. Right, snack food companies run frequent TV ads, online ads to ensure their product is top of the mind when customers think of a snack. Next one is contrast principle. Customer principle: your product, compare your product against competitors to make your advantage stand out more. Cultural effect amplifies perceived difference. A smartphone manufacturer highlights the unique feature of their phones in comparison to competitors' device, emphasizing what sets it apart. This will be a lot of companies do this, but another thing is that the downside of this is that you're also indirectly marketing that other product as well. Because if one person doesn't even know about the other products, the fact that you start comparing your product with other products, they then become aware of that product as well. So if you're doing that, just be very sure that you have something in your product that makes your product better. So like way better. You get, such that it doesn't then feel like you're even automatically giving your users alternative, and not even a reason to consider your product. All right. So commitment and consistency principles: secure initial buy-in that drives ongoing use. Discount prepaid options and can encourage longer commitment. Discounted prepaid options. So, for example, now a fitment app offers discounts on an annual subscription, encouraging users to commit to a year of using the app for their fitness goal. Right. So a lot of app does this, that if you pay for a longer period, you get more discounts than when you try to just want to be paying monthly, or want to be paying bi-weekly or daily, or I want to be charged. So if you just want to buy one of a year, you get more discount. So this is another thing you can put in your marketing, when people are wanting to buy, or people are looking to buy your product. Our next one is we're looking at honeymoon effect. Honeymoon effect. One second. All right. So capitalize on the initial customer euphoria, excitement right after purchase. Request reviews, referral promptly. All right. So, for example, now let's look at an example here. An online marketplace sends follow-up email to customers shortly after their first purchase, asking for review and referral why their enthusiasm is still high. So especially if your product is top notch, right? Is when they buy a product, maybe they buy a product, be quick to request for referral or reviews and things like that, such that that moment where they're still excited about your product, getting your product, they can share the review, share referral, tell people about it and things like that. So you utilize that honeymoon phase of your product. All right, so that's important as well. Febling effect. A Febling effect talks about considering premium pricing and exclusive tier for luxury status appeal. People equate high price with quality and prestige. I already talked about this in the beginning of our class. So luxury fashion brand price its limited edition clothing items higher to create an aura of exclusivity and luxury. So this is standard, especially if you know that especially if that value we are providing is literally luxury. There's a whole lot that goes into it. You can make it very pricey. You don't have to care about what people think or something like that. You can price it as limited edition and put a ridiculous price on it. There are people that will buy it. All right. So bizarreness effect. Injects unique or unexpected features that people won't find elsewhere. Quickiness makes your product more viral and memorable. So, an example, a mobile game includes quickie or unexpected Easter eggs or hidden features that make games more memorable and shareable. All right, so you want to put things that people would never have expected. So this thing has. So what does this thing means? Is this what this means is that so that a lot of people that are that those things mean a lot to them. I know I used to be like that too, but I'm still like that. When you were using a particular product for a whole while, but you never knew that, you know, this particular thing, means something, or is referring to something, or is because or inspired by something, and after some time, they just bust that out and tell you that, oh, this thing is for this, is for is by this, and you're like, wow, you never knew, and things like that. So that's something that you can put into your product as well. All right, so applying insights from psychology and behavioral science can lead to innovative product strategy that resonates with your customers on a deeper level. Why features still important? Don't underestimate the role of cognitive bias, mental shortcuts, social influence, and role they play in the product adoption and growth. Don't underestimate it, guys. So use this principle outlined here as an inspiration when designing your product, your marketing plan, and your customer experience. Test out different techniques to determine what best fits your business. Tweak and refine them over time based on data and real feedback from your customer. Importantly, approach outlined in this post should always be based on ethical taps that we talked about. Be ethical in your approach. Successful product needs to build and maintain trust. Always avoid manipulative and underhanded tactics. With a bit of creativity and experimentation, you can effectively employ this psychological effect for better product marketing, providing the secret sauce to making your product stand out and achieve traction. All right. Any question? Any question, guys? Let's have a question. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, someone
Well done,
just
sir.
shared this thing. What's his name? Benga, thank you for sharing that. Someone just shared the PDF for that book. So I will encourage you guys to read that book. All right. Thank you, Benga. All right,
Thank you,
go
sir.
on.
Yes, sir. I just want to, from this principle you have explained to us. I
Mm-hmm.
discover one thing. I discover one thing about LinkedIn. You know,
Okay.
they they do something like they will give you premium, the premium for free. Okay.
Correct.
Yes. So after that one, even if you have not purchased the real premium, they will still continue to. They still give you the opportunity to still use that premium. I mean, just for you to test, and they will keep sending messages to you, telling you, what are the opportunities in this premium version of a thing, which I believe that it will definitely motivate someone to eventually go for that premium version. Now, from all
Correct.
these principles, now, I'm just trying to look at which one, because the way they will be doing it, they'll constantly checking on you, asking about how you are enjoying it, what are the things you have enjoyed so far
Mm.
on it, the help. So, which at the end they will now try to persuade you in also getting you to have the premium version. So that's why I just want you to help us which of the principles they apply in their own products. Sir.
Okay. So the principle they applied is this. What was it called? When we talked about the giving the trial version. All right. 1 second. The foot in the door technique, and also I think it's also aligned with the reciprocity principle. Let's just take a look at that quickly. Yeah, so you're correct. So it applies with this, you see. So what's the name now? LinkedIn will give you 30 days trial, right? All right. So allowing users to experience the product benefit, right, firsthand, such that when you use it and you see what you can do using the premium, you'll be encouraged to subscribe to the premium plan. So this is the strategy, right? The reciprocity principle. So it really pretty much aligns with this particular principle. So that's what they also do. There are a lot of apps that does that. Yes. So you're correct. But looking at this, do you think you see that this principle aligns with that, right?
Yes,
All
because
right. Good. Good.
yes, yes, it does. Because when I most time I look at most time I look at their most of when they give me some kind of tips, from their marketing stuff. So
Mm,
I see the way it goes, which they actually want the person, the user, to actually continue using that especially that their premium version, telling you some major and some even benefits that you even understand you will enjoy more than using the free version. So
correct.
it
Correct.
works. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Vega. All right. Any other addition, feedback, your thoughts? Maybe something you think you figured out that we didn't touch in this class.
I have a question.
All right,
All
hello.
right.
I have a
Sorry.
when
Let
you
me have the
started.
girl first, then the guy can go. All
Okay.
right. So go
In
on, please.
favor, when you
Hi,
talked
favor.
about comparing your product with other similar products,
Mm-hmm.
but there's something I read about intellectual property, and they spoke against it because sometimes when you hint in your advert or marketing that you're trying to um, speak ill or something about a similar product that like yours, those the owners of the product you're hinting about has every right to sue you
Mm,
against, yeah, because of intellectual property issues. So how do you
really?
handle that kind of, yes, how do you handle that kind of scenario? Or is there
So
a play safe kind of thing?
yeah, there's most likely a play safe kind of way. So it's not like you're speaking ill of the brand. Do you get? It's just you're just highlighting what that brand has and what you have that's better than this. So it's a different of speaking ill about the company that this product is not good, use our own. This product to make your decision. No. That one you literally get yourself sued because it's what's it called? It's there's a word for it actually. I can't remember. So you don't do that in marketing. So but you can highlight. Come again. All right. So you can highlight something the product a computer has, and then highlight what your product has that is way better than it. So and that's pretty much allowed. I remember was it on Monday? Monday is it either Monday.com or ClickUp? One of those products we use that ads that method one time like that, and there's another product like that that I saw. Was using it against HubSpot, either against HubSpot or Zoho. So they were comparing their features in comparison with HubSpot, or in comparison with either Salesforce or any of those CRM app. Yes. So that's pretty much allowed. But like I said, they said to you, you are indirectly also advertising for that app. So in the sense, when your product doesn't meet up to your app to your claim, you're already giving your customers option. You get. So if you want to use Assured, you must be very, very sure that what you claim that your product has, it does have it. And when people use it, they'll know that they're using it. It's way better than the computer you are comparing yours to. All right. So yes, yeah, but there's a place a way to go about it, so that you're not infringing on any legal something. All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you. The other guy. Sorry, I didn't get your name. There was another guy that wanted to speak. So you can go on with your question. Are you still there?
I think that was Julius Felix.
Julius, is he still here? All right, Julius Felix, you still want to share your input, or is there a question you have? You're muted. Oh, you're good. All right. So any other input, guys? Any other feedback? Any other thing? I think it dropped off. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, guys. So tomorrow we still be looking at some other aspect. Maybe look at how you can a more practical way on how you can use behavior studies to improve your product marketing. We'll see how we can look at that in our next class tomorrow. All right. And but like I mentioned, next week is all about question and answers. We might take we might do a recap on Saturday next week, and we will then well, Sunday I'll be giving you guys a project, which is going to trust me, you cannot. I won't advise you to read ChatGPT because I will exclude. I'll put it there. I won't advise you guys to use chat chat whatever. So don't please. So it's gonna be a project that cut across all of the assignment that we'll be doing. So if you've indeed have been doing the assignment, you'll be able to carry on this project. All right, and it's gonna be something that will take you over 2 weeks. It's a very practical thing. I'm going to give you areas that areas that you run your research on. I need proof that you run your physical proof. So it's not you type. You need to snap picture of your notes of your conversation with your users. So no, don't type anything from here. Write with your hands and give me some. In fact, if you can include recording, I won't mind. All right, and things like that, and do your prototype and and um, and things like that. I was thinking of possibility of collaborating with the engineers such that you can learn how to manage so we can look into that product development phase, see how we can practicalize that part where you are managing some set of developers to develop a particular product. Right. So maybe I will discuss with the other team, but I don't know how that would work. But if it's something that can happen, we'll see that, because it would be nice that a product is developed based on your research, based on your design, your prototype, and even engage with the design team as well. So I don't know, maybe that will be on the, I don't know how that will function, but to be a good initiative. All right. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you guys enjoy your Saturday. See you tomorrow. All right. Bye, everyone.
Let's use
Okay.